This episode is brought to you by Hulu Plus. With Hulu Plus, you get total control to watch thousands of shows wherever you want, whenever you want. Binge on full seasons and watch your favorite current shows like Community, South Park, SNL, and more. Right now, my listeners can get an extended free trial of Hulu Plus by going to huluplus.com/Joey. That's huluplus.com/Joey.
If you want to eat pussy, you got to bring the fucking toothpicks in your pocket. It's positive reinforcement. You know what I'm saying, Lee?
Why are you bringing toothpicks? Are you going to stab them?
Nah, to pick the fucking pubes out of your teeth, you filthy fuck.
I thought you wanted them there. Last time
I want half of them there, and the other half you want to take out. Some people don't like fucking hair on their teeth. I'm just dropping it while it's hot. What's up, my little Jewish friend?
Nothing. I'm excited for tonight. This is my favorite night of the month. I really
know. I know. I love it too. I love being. You know why? We're around these fucking savages. They come out. It's a death squad fucking night. People got acid. How many edibles are you going to eat tonight? Tell the people, how many do you think? There's going to be a 911 on fucking staff. We got an ambulance on staff.
I have 2 cabs already called. If you bring an edible, I'll eat it.
No, it's not my edible, but
no, I'm talking to the people
are fucking
listening.
Already calling. I don't know if it's sold out. There was a few tickets left yesterday. You got the extra microphone. We got a great show. Come on. I like the live one. Bro, listen. It's getting to the point where I used to do comedy. I didn't like fucking doing comedy years ago. Now I know I'm going to meet somebody interesting. I'm going to see somebody from Twitter. I'm going to see somebody that tortures me on Facebook or Twitter.
Yeah.
And it makes the night, oh, fuck, that's you, yeah. Oh, fuck, you. Oh. So it's always a lot fucking better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What's up with you, baby? You're looking good. You're smart. You recovered from that edible
Jesus.
invasion.
I knew it was going to be bad, so I just jumped right in bed. And
was it bad? No,
it's not. This one wasn't bad because I fucking ate a lot before.
You ate, yeah, that's the thing.
But it didn't go away until like the next day. Like I slept all day, all night, and I woke up and my legs were still tingling.
That's a good feeling when you wake up and your legs are tingling. You know what I'm saying? What can you do that your legs are tingling? You know what I'm saying?
I have no idea what you're saying, but
you know what I'm fucking saying, cocksucker.
No, but I loved it. So, yeah, I'm feeling good.
I called you. I woke you up. You sounded good. You didn't scare me. Usually I call you and you're all whispering on the phone. Hey,
I'm whispering.
I don't know what I'm going to do. Get the fuck up, cocksucker. You got an edible in you. Go drink some bat juice and make it happen.
It's funny. When I first call you, I'll talk to you around 2 or something, and you're all happy. You're all up. Maybe around 6 we'll talk. And then if I talk to you past 9 o'clock, it's the... it's just you can barely form words. That's what happens after 6 edibles and 18 joints during the day.
By 6:30, all the worlds meet. After Diane Sawyer, all the worlds meet, and my fucking head almost blows up, and I'm stoned. I just sit there. But I went out. Got fucking pissed off last night, Leah.
What happened?
Pissed off 2 times. First off, I went to kickboxing today. I waited all fucking day to go to kickboxing. Yeah, from 8 to... The best part of my day is when I leave here now. Because I go home, I watch a little SpongeBob with my daughter, who lives in a pineapple, the bottom of the sea. SpongeBob SquarePants. That's my episode and shit. About 10 to 9, we get the fuck out of there. We go for a little walk till about 10:30. Then my girl comes over and I get to do my day. But I like those 2 hours. It's just a little exercise. I probably walk around 3 miles, which I feel good. It's good for my circulation. It's good for my heart. But I wanted to kickbox last night. I waited all day. I was a little tuned up. They're doing construction on Burbank Boulevard. They're fucking tearing it up.
Oh, oh, God.
Oh, my God. So I went there. It's 8:30. I'm already warmed up. We're going through the first set of fucking drills. And the guy comes in and goes, the ticket lady's out there. And she's going to give tickets to people all along the parking against the wall. I was one of them. I went out there. I drove around for fucking 15 minutes. Couldn't find a parking spot. I went down there for nothing. I was pissed. I went home. And then I got dressed. And I sat there. And my friend said he was doing a late show at Flappers. Mm-hmm. So I went down to Flappers just to watch the show, just to get out of my head. I was going to be home by 11.
Yeah.
He was doing the 10:30 show or something. I hadn't seen him in a while. So I go down to Flappers. I'm right down to Flappers, and you get bombarded by these fucking comics that are that I knew 20 years ago, when I first moved here. And we both had the same paths at the Comedy Store. One day they just frizzled out. I didn't see them anymore, and God the fuck knows. And you see these people... And you drive back from Flappers on Magnolia Boulevard, you know, and it's really empty at night. Mm-hmm. It's fucking you could do 100 on Magnolia. And I always think about, when people come up to me and I feel bad, they make me feel bad because I stuck with this.
What do you mean? What did they say to you?
They make a little comment, yeah, I got a day job now. We all can't be like you or something, just little.
Is it we all can't get on that podcast? There's
yeah, people something. And it's like, you know what, guys? I work fucking hard. I was fucked up for 20 years, but I always stuck with this, you know?
Yeah.
No matter how broke I was, or hungover, or coked up, or not having coke, or because I would never go on stage coked up, I always got on stage. I always knew that as long as I got on stage, everything was going to be okay. I would stay on course. That's what I'm trying to say, you know? And a lot of people, they let shit drift. They, you know, something happens in their life, and they forget about the fucking course.
Yeah.
They forget about the main fucking course, you know? So now I'm supposed to feel bad. You know, like I'm supposed to feel bad, like, you know, and then they'll call. Like, I won't see him for 7 or 8 years, and then I'll bump into them, and it'll be nice to bump into them, and then I'll give them my number, and then it's 3 calls about, you know, road work or whatever the fuck. You know, you've made yourself irrelevant in this business or whatever business you created. And now you look at the people who work, because nobody gave me nothing. I'm not good looking. I'm dirty. You know, I'm fat. There's nothing for people to want to put me on MB fucking C. But I always believed in myself, and I kept getting on stage. But now they make you feel bad.
Yeah, I get a lot. People are like, not everyone can go to a college, or not everyone can just move out to LA. And people don't see that I'm working 80 hours a week, or that I have $80,000 in college debt that I'm paying off every month. Like, people, I think when people see that you're doing something good, it's like easier for them to just shoot it down, and like they think like it's given to you. But very few people get stuff given to them. It's mostly just out of hard work.
You know, for some reason my phone doesn't ring like it used to anymore. You know, 10 years ago I would take 1,000 calls a day, and we would make plans with other comics, and then it started drifting. Like, people got the drift that, you know what, man, I didn't want to hear about your bad luck anymore. We all have fucking bad luck. But there's only one way to do this, and that's to get on course and stay on it, and you survive through the bad luck. You're going to have fucking bad luck. So get ready for it, but you know that no matter what happens, fuck you, pay me. You still got to get on stage.
Yeah.
Or fuck you, pay me. You still got, you know, I went to, it's really funny. I'm really getting a kick out of going to jiu-jitsu, something I never wanted to go to.
Yeah.
I'm really getting a kick from it because, first off, last Friday I went to the class, and everybody scared me out of that black belt class. There's a black belt who owns a school who teaches on Mondays and Fridays. He's a John Jock Machado black belt. And everybody said, you know, he has this thing called Marcelo Madness, where they kill you, and they do. You have to do 40 fucking squat thrusts.
Oh, Jesus.
And then clap at the end and run a sprint.
Wow.
And, oh, yeah, this ain't fucking... I couldn't even do one squat thrust. You know, in college, I used to do squat thrust every night. They were my favorite fucking exercise. I'd do a line of coke and do 100 fucking squat thrusts. The dog would just stare and look at me. I loved them. Burpees, whatever people call them. I can't do one now. I'm too heavy to control. My shoulders hurt when I drop down.
Oh, yeah,
There's just too much fucking pain on my shoulders, you know? But I went and I did one burpee. I did the sit-ups. I did the push-ups. I ran, you know? And he said a story how, you know, I don't go to jiu-jitsu to be Joe Lozon. I'm 50 fucking years old. I'm in no danger. I go to jiu-jitsu to overcome one of my fears. You know, I hate fucking rolling on my back because I have sleep apnea. That's the bottom line. I have sleep apnea, so it's tough to fucking breathe.
Even when you're awake?
Oh, yeah, even when I'm awake. Sometimes if I get on my back and I'm not prepared, and I don't breathe right, and I stop breathing, I get on my back,
Jesus, that would be
behind
scary.
the fucking 8-ball. But no. I have to do this. It's like I'm scared of needles. You know how many needles Dr. Amy put in me yesterday? There was
50.
There was one point I was sitting there, right, and I went to adjust something. I looked at, I had fucking 3 needles sticking out of my arm, flapping like the wind, and a deep one over here that I could feel every time I turned my hand. I could feel it on the muscle and shit like that. You know, you think I want to sit through that shit? I feel a lot. That's why I'm so tired today, because I drank a ton of water last night, but I only got 5 hours of sleep. But what we talking about? Oh, Marcelo. And after the class, he told this story. He goes, listen, bro, when I first came to jiu-jitsu, I used to get anxiety. I used to get panic attacks from being on the bottom. So I went home and started sleeping with a mattress on top of me.
Jesus.
Just to put pressure on top of me all night. And he goes, I have another person. He goes, I started putting another mattress on top of there. Then I started asking my wife and my brother to sleep on top of that fucking mattress just to make yourself overcome that fear.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, like when you listen to music and you think they're talking to you, like it was the same way. I thought he was talking to me, and he said, don't fucking give up. You know, don't give up. And it's so weird that it's easy for me now. It's easy for me to go to jiu-jitsu and get beat up for fucking 10 years. Like he said he was a white belt for 2 years. He says he was a fucking blue belt for 7 years.
Wow.
And then he was a purple belt for like 2 years, and he got a brown belt for 2 years. But he was stuck in blue belt, whatever.
And you're not going for the belt. You don't care.
I could care less. The only belt I'm going for is for breathing. But it's so funny how a lot of people would have quit.
Yeah.
It's easy. It's so much easier to quit. And guys, I used to quit at everything when I was a kid. Comedy, coke, and crime was the first shit I ever stuck with. You know, and I would have stuck with the crime. I was pretty good at being a criminal. It just, you know, you throw your odds against the wall, you're going to end up in prison. There's no Chinese food in prison. There's no Chinese food. There's no chopsticks. You can't get it. There's no fucking, you know what I'm saying? So forget it. I'm not going to fucking prison. But it's so weird how when I bump into these people, I want to grab them and go, you know what? You fucked up.
Yeah.
Now you got to start from fucking scratch. And it sucks dick, but there's a way for you to start from scratch.
And you gotta keep going when stuff gets bad. Because, like, I've told this story before, but right before you and I started working together 2 years ago, I applied to Best Buy, Domino's, and I had an interview. The day we first met, I had an interview at a call collection center because I hadn't heard back from Best Buy and the pizza place as a college graduate because I wasn't making enough money to pay my rent. And it's I got people always tell me I'm lucky to work with you, and I am, but I was trying to do stuff, and I was ready. When you said, what are your ideas? I had ideas, and I had stuff going on. So even when stuff is shitty, you can't stop because stuff is going to come up.
Listen, man, Sheryl Crow on the second album says something about don't stop till the miracle. If you quit, the miracle, you won't watch the miracle happen. Mm-hmm. Listen, just stick it out. I'm telling you, no matter, you know, every time I go to kickboxing, I can't fucking breathe. You know, in November and December, I'd say to myself, just stick it out. Keep coming back another day. And when you do the first 30 minutes, once you do the first 10 minutes, you're gone. That's it. Once you look at the clock and it says 6:20 or you're 20 minutes in, no matter all those drills and shit, you pass them. So now you put your mitts on or whatever. Same thing happens when I go do the epileptical, whatever, the fucking epileptical machine. How, you know, you get on that motherfucker the first day, you do 3 minutes. I remember, Lee, after the longest yard, I'm doing fucking a gram of coke a day. I'm eating like a fucking gorilla.
Jesus.
You know, I'm smoking 3 packs of cigarettes a day. That's if I didn't do coke. If I was doing coke, I'd stop and get a 2-pack of Camel Lights.
Okay.
And smoke both packs of cigarettes from 11 o'clock at night to 5 in the morning.
Jesus Christ.
This is terrible. This was a terrible disease I had going on. And then I'd sleep 5 hours a fucking night, you know, which makes it worse. And I'd eat like a fucking animal, nothing good, no carrots, no salads, no fucking water. I didn't drink water then at all. I only drank water when I ate Chinese food. That cold glass they give you with
I love
the ice
cold glass, yeah.
You take the straw out of the Coke and put it in the water and drink that real fucking quick. And it's just fucking amazingly, I was 418 pounds. And one day, I realized that across the street from my house, there was a YMCA. And for years, I knew there was a YMCA, and I would cross the street out of guilt. It was like a fucking, you know, like when you see a religious cult you don't like? When I was a kid, there'd be like weird things on certain blocks, and you cross the fucking street. Normally you pop in the microphone. You cross the fucking street over because you want to avoid those people.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the way it was for me. I would avoid the YMCA. Like, I wouldn't even make believe there was a Y there.
Yeah, yeah.
And I finally walked in there one day, Lee, and they had this coaches program where if you sign up the first 4 times, they put you together with a little coach. Mm-hmm. And he gives you an exercise program. But the first thing he has to do is evaluate you.
Yeah.
And see where you're at. So he runs you on the cardio thing.
Yeah.
Lee, after 3 minutes, he told me to get off. I couldn't even walk 3 minutes on the fucking...
treadmill?
That's a true story.
Oh, wow.
When I first got on the fucking treadmill, ladies and gentlemen, in 2006, I could not even make 3 minutes without stopping and getting off. At 1.5, never mind now, I get on it, it's 3.8 or something like that. At that day, I would put it on at 1.52, and I couldn't walk 3 fucking minutes.
And now you're doing the Dolce sprints.
Oh, I can't do those no more. My fucking left knee.
Your
but I'm going
knees?
to tell you something, and we're going to talk about this right now. I did some research on the strong bone. Mm-hmm. I really liked it. I was very impressed with the strong bone when I first did it. I didn't know if it was the fucking, that I was used to working out. I'm a fat fuck, man. We all are, you know. And you try to work out, and every once in a while you might get yourself hurt. And that staggers your fucking workout thing.
Yeah,
you say yourself, so that's why I always tell people to fucking warm up your knees, warm up your elbows, do a few jumping jacks. Lee, you didn't do no jumping jacks today, but you did enough the other day. That's why
I'll do
love
some
you.
today.
No, you love them. I love them too. I love doing something about jumping jacks. And what are we talking about?
Strong bone.
Strong bone. And I read it. It's something with a Malanta or something like that. Now you guys are saying, Joey, on it, you're fucking sponsoring. You don't know what's in fucking strong bone. I could sit here with a piece of paper and pen and lie to you. I don't know what the fuck's in it. I know one thing. I know it fucking works. It's like cocaine. When you do a line of coke, you don't know what the fuck's in it. Next thing you know, you're looking out windows, your jaw's going from side to side. You're having a good time, you know? So what the fuck? Do you sit there and go, what's in this? No. You just fucking inhale it and give Pancho $40 once a fucking night, right? So it's so weird how I went on. When I first went to that jiu-jitsu class a month ago, the first time, I got on my knees and I blasted this left knee. This is a surgery knee. But right from there, I went to Dr. Amy. She put some needles in there. She lasered it for me. She cupped it to put the blood in there. And I can't, it got a little bit better. She eased the pain. That night, I got to take some ibuprofens. I don't want to call the doctor because he's just going to stick fucking cortisone in there now at this point. They're going to stick me with a needle of cortisone. I'm in no mood for that shit. That shit is not good for you. I had it shot in my fucking, when I was bro, I've been running, and I used to get bursitis on my heels.
Oh, fuck.
So you got to stick the fucking needle in there, suck it out, and then stick the, you don't know. I would be green. I would go get shot at 10. I couldn't leave till 4 in the afternoon. It'd fuck up my whole day. This is before acupuncture. I hated fucking needles. So, health is the fucking issue, cocksuckers. You're young. Stay on top of this shit. 1 hour a day. I love how people always say, well, I don't have the time. You got to make time for it. You got to say at this time every day. Last night I was telling this and that. I had like comedy hell last night. Some girl came up to me. She's like, I'd like to ask you your advice about something. She goes, I got this headlining gig that I have to do 35 minutes for on December or August 12th, and I don't know if I should take it. And I'm like, why wouldn't you take it? How long have you been doing comedy? She goes, 7 years. I go, where is the gig at? She goes, Louisiana. I go, take the fucking gig. And then she goes, well, I only think I have about 30 minutes. I go, so you need another fucking 10 or 15 minutes. That's a piece of cake. And she goes, maybe for you it is. No, it's not for fucking me, but take a chance. I go, nothing happened to you today that wasn't interesting?
Yeah.
Well, you mean to tell me in your life, from Sunday to Sunday, from coast to coast, nothing happened to you that was fucking interesting? You didn't get a ticket, nothing that made you giggle by yourself when you were walking. She goes, yeah, okay. And she started arguing like, for you. Nothing bothers me more when people go, oh, it's easy for you. It's not easy for me. I'm a fucking loser. What easy? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
These people think like you have the God's hand, like somebody's helping you fucking right. No, you're seeing life through the same eyes I'm fucking seeing. I just always make a mental note, holy fuck, that's bizarre. Lee, I still can't forget that day that me and you were getting in your car and I farted. And
that poor woman.
Like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm farting. I don't want to fart in your car. I'm a Catholic. I don't want to insult nobody. And I farted, and it was so bad. I knew it was going to be. I get that protein shake for breakfast. And some mornings you take a chance. Like, let's say you have something in your stomach from the night before, and the protein powder hits it. It's like World War fucking III.
So you had like the
There's
bacon
Arabs, Iranians. Yeah, but I don't have no fucking hot dog last night, Lee. Lee, whatever you eat with that bacon wrap hot dog comes out smelling. I took a shit one night after those tacos and a couple of bacon wraps. Like, you take one of those midnight shits when you get home. Because the taco will push everything out.
Yeah.
I took a midnight shift from the tacos. The next morning at like 8, I got up. Didn't smell like shit in the bathroom, but that strong odor, the patois of that piece of shit. Because sometimes when you flush it, the shit breaks in the toilet. That's what stinks terrible once it breaks.
And you had one of those farts in this poor old woman.
Oh my God! And that's my life, Lee. I see that every day. So in the back of my mind, if I see that, and I'm a comic, because when you're a comic, you make your own little fucking jokes in your head. Now, you don't have to say them. You just make little jokes, and you're going to say, oh, I'm going to say that on stage tonight. But I wanted to show Lee that this is how life is. I farted. I get in the car, and I go, Lee, this lady's going to walk right into this fire. And as I farted, I'm smiling at Lee. I'm like, Lee. And he's like, get in the car. And I look up, and there's a lady walking with her dog. I'm like, oh, no. I get in the fucking car with Lee. We're both sitting there looking at each other. We go, Lee, watch this lady. Lee, tell him, because I'm not going to think I made this up.
This woman was probably, like, if you see a movie, like, and there's an old Italian grandma that's 87 years old, and it takes, like, 20 minutes to walk from, like, 20 feet away. This woman was, like, 1,000 years old, and she was just on her morning walk, probably just for the little bit of exercise she gets, and it was, like, slow motion. We watched her walk into, like, the crop dusting that Joey left, and this woman, she didn't stop walking. She just, her nose wrinkled up into her face.
Oh my God.
And she started waving in front of it,
and we both fucking died. We lost it. I told her, I go, Lee, this is why I do comedy, because this is my day. And even when things were bad, like things were fucking horrible, I'd be like borrowing money and thinking about robbing somebody. Something would happen that I would fucking giggle my ass off. I'm pissed. I didn't keep notes when I was a burglar.
You remembered enough.
Well, but I didn't keep like I should have kept like a memoir when I was a fucking thief / burglar. Lee, where's the music?
Well, that's how everyone gets caught. All these murderers keep fucking
You got some
diaries.
reefer with Uncle Joey or what? It's a beautiful day to be a fucking Jew. Who you kidding? Right now, go to the Bank of America, look how much you got in the bank. And say to yourself, it's a beautiful fucking day to be a Jew. I gotta go over there and put fucking $2 in there today. What's up, dog? You bad motherfucker, you Lisa. How's it going?
It's good. This is reminding me. I just the other night I couldn't sleep because I was sleeping all day from the edible, and I rewatched what the fuck, American Gangster, and I didn't like it the first time I saw it. I didn't like it because it was a Man on Fire. So I owned it, and I decided to rewatch it. That's a fucking good movie.
It's a fucking good movie. He's bad at. And I hear this movie about the plane, when the plane goes
Flight.
down.
Yeah, I heard that's good too.
I heard that's a good motherfucker too.
But I thought of you for the entire movie just because it's like he's the driver of the head of Harlem for like 16 years. He knows to the day how many days he worked with him, and all they talk about is customer service and all that. And he goes and he's selling the best, purest heroin for half the money of the other guys, and his entire thing is based on family and respect. But the thing that ends up being his downfall is his hot wife buys him that fucking mink, and the FBI finally catches on to him. But it's
well, it was against his nature. He was very low key. He didn't want to sit with the fucking whatever. He put the fucking mink on. All of a sudden they started taking that. That's a very great story that. I went to see Mud with my wife Monday.
How was it? I haven't seen it.
It was okay. It was whatever, the good-looking guy and some fucking kids. One kid was hysterical. The real hot blonde that just got caught DUIing with her boyfriend or her husband. She played.
Oh, Reese Witherspoon?
Reese Witherspoon. I went with my wife, and Iceman was playing there. And she asked me how it was again, and because we had like a half hour. They put Chipotle now next to.
Oh, they did?
To Lemley? Yeah, fucking tremendous.
Yeah, Chipotle is good.
Not bad. It's always packed. Like I've driven by there. You can't find parking spot, and whatever. So I sat there, and was looking at and she asked me a bunch of questions about it. I go, what they did with the story. For people who watch American Gangster, it was about the Italians. First off, the Chinese were bringing the fucking heroin in. The Chinese people have always been the baddest motherfuckers when it comes to heroin. They just didn't want to. They're fucking intelligent. When you go into a Chinese restaurant, what do you see? A family working. Mm-hmm. You see 3 kids doing homework. 2 families put their geeters together, and they've opened this up. That's a scam. These guys are making money from heroin. They just do that to cover their tracks because they're smart. They're not fucking Puerto Ricans or Cubans or nothing. They don't need for you to know that they have money.
No.
They need to know. That's a strength. We're the only ones that act like fucking yams when we fucking dress up with gold jewelry and jump up and down. No. The fucking Chinese, they never did nothing. They're bringing the heroin in. They didn't have the muscle to go to the blacks and the Puerto Ricans and the Cubans and Dominicans and sell the heroin. So they became, the Italians became their fucking out. The Italians were robbing them. So the Italians would give them $55,000 a pound of heroin. Mm-hmm. They'd make $500,000 on the fucking heroin.
Wow.
$500,000. They cut that thing 1,000 times. You cut it, then give it to black guys like fucking Frank Lucas.
Yeah.
Frank Lucas said, fuck you motherfuckers.
Yeah.
I'm going straight to fucking Bangkok. I'm going to deal direct with White Powder Ma. And we're going to take over. And that's what happened. He was very, very smart. Remember when he goes in and he sees the Academy Award winner and he tells him, you're cutting my shit over. And now when people buy Coca-Cola, they know what to expect.
That's
Beautiful speech.
It's a speech. It's great. He says like, it's a name brand, and people trust me even if they don't know me.
And it's on the street.
Yep.
He took the business sense from a CEO and put it on the street. That's why he was fucking successful. But he went against. You always slip up.
Yeah.
You always do that one thing. The pussy making out. You put the fur on. You go to the thing with a big fur. They start taking pictures. But the beautiful story about that was, I was thinking about this yesterday. I can't believe I was telling one of my friends in New York when we were talking about what happened in Chinatown.
What happened?
How in the early '80s. Chinese people started saying, fuck this shit. We want our money. The Chinese people shut down canals. The Chinese people took half of their town, Little Italy. They went to war. And there was a movie called Year of the Fucking Dragon with Mickey Rourke that portrayed that little war that they had. It was over fucking heroin. But there's a book, and I've spoken about the book called The Pleasant Avenue Connection. You cannot buy the fucking book. It costs you. Felipe bought it for me for $100 fucking bucks. You could go to a library and rent it out and read it there.
Okay.
Like L.A. has it. I had to go down to L.A. County with my wife, take it out, and read the book a whole afternoon.
And what's it about?
And it's about how heroin was in the 60s. When they found out, like, how many fucking idiots became bazillionaires selling heroin. And this big street was Pleasant Avenue. And it was the street. And basically you pulled up with a car with your fucking money in the trunk. And I took the car from you. You went and had lunch. And when you came out, I'd throw your keys to a new car. And it had the heroin. And you drove it back to wherever the fuck you were going. Jeez. And that's how easy it was to buy heroin on that fucking block. So the Italians, in turn, were taking black guys like Frank Lucas and going, here's a fucking pound of heroin for $80,000 and we're going to cut it to pieces. He was an entrepreneur. He was very smart at the end. He ended up fucking failing. I mean, I read the book. You know, I know the books. I grew up in that area and I knew about Frank Lucas and the other fucking guy. You heard about, my mother had a bar on 127th and Audubon.
Did you ever see one of those apartments that they show where they're cutting up the heroin?
Fuck yeah!
Really?
Those projects right there, not those in particular, but I used to go to projects that were very similar to those on 125th Street. It was right by the Popeye's Chicken and the Apollo, down there. And I remember that's where Jasper Williams used to live when we were kids. And until this day, I never forget that fucking black dude. That was my first fucking friend ever. First friend ever. A fucking darkest fucking kid. And I wish he would pop out or somebody would say, Joey, I found Jasper Williams. But nobody's come out to me and said, I don't have a fucking... Nobody's got a black fucking friend no more. Cocksuckers. What's happening, baby boy?
So speaking of American Gangster, we're brought to you again by Hulu Plus. There's a banner on your website, joeydiaz.net, or you can go to huluplus.com/Joey. And I fucking love it, man. You get a 2-week free trial. It's I was on there, and they have movies. They have that Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead movie that I did the Juice Fast from. They have Pulp Fiction. They have Hell's Kitchen. They have TV shows. And it's just fucking awesome, man. And you said Terry's using it.
Terry's using it. She loves it. She can't believe it. She lived without it, she said so. Yeah,
so just to remind you guys, you have to do huluplus.com/Joey, and it has to be lowercase. Uppercase doesn't work.
Lowercase! Get your shit together.
Yeah, and it's amazing. It has everything you can need. I
got like 2 emails the other day. Joey tried to use it. I said, did you use fucking lowercase? Lowercase. Even I know that, and I'm a moron.
And it's like I said, they have WWE. They have 300 pages of stuff you can watch, and they have full seasons. They have one of my favorite shows. It's called Shark Tank, and it's the Jews' favorite show. They have people going on there with inventions.
That's your favorite show?
I
tell you that's my favorite show.
Oh, you like it?
I stay in and watch it Friday nights at 8 o'clock.
I love it.
I love it.
It's the money.
So they got all 3 seasons, all like 9 seasons.
They have from this season up on
Hulu
Plus.
I'm gonna go home and watch it right now.
Oh yeah, fucking.
Nobody tells me this.
They had on the season finale. They had a guy who was making donut grilled cheeses. And the franchise made like $1 million and stuff, but people go crazy for it. But I love that show. So
I love it.
That's up there.
I love the chick. The chick's kind of cute.
Yeah, there's 2 of them. They have a young one, who's on like the Home Shopping Network, and then they have an older one. But I like Mark Cuban, and then the Mr. Wonderful, the bald guy in the middle,
who's
the
black guy.
Oh cool. Yeah, Damon John. Yeah, no, it's great.
Go to Hulu Plus.
Yeah. huluplus.com/Joey, or where there's a banner at joeydiaz.net.
And lowercase.
You get 2 weeks free. Then it's only $7.99 after that.
Who's better than me?
No one.
It's Wednesday. Get up. We got a live podcast tonight. 626-577-1894. Come on down. Smoke some dope. It's like $10. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
It's a Wednesday night. Edgar's coming down tonight.
Oh shit! I haven't seen him for a while.
He's working nights now. He's like Joe Pesci in fucking Goodfellas. He's working nights. But it's interesting. You watched the whole American Gangster?
Yeah, I loved it. It was because when you have a movie like Man on Fire that was just so amazing, you're always gonna kind of try to compare the two, and I couldn't do it.
He shot his load on Man on Fire.
Yeah.
He really fucking did. It's been on American Movie Classics.
Yeah, people keep tweeting me whenever it's on.
It's on like at 4 in the fucking afternoon. You sit down and he's, telling Hector Lavoe to shoot himself. That's a great scene when he talks to the guy into fucking shooting himself.
Yeah. I love this scene in American Gangster where the guy, right when his boss died, another drug dealer was trying to take him over, and he said 20%, so he paid it. But then when Frank Lucas started being big, he went up to him. He's like, "Here, give me 20%," and the guy said no.
He fucking shot him.
He shot him right there while his brothers were sitting there watching from the diner.
Tremendous.
And now his brothers aren't going to do shit to him because he shot a guy in public and then came back and fucking ate.
See, but that was New York City. That's what people don't understand. When people go, well, I go to New York and I have a good time. No. You gotta go to New York and people mind their fucking business.
Yeah.
See, now you have yuppie heaven in New York. At one time in New York, people mind their fucking business.
Yeah.
You could stab a motherfucker right next to you. You know, I still think about that night when my stepfather shot Nico in the leg. You know, there was 80 people at that party.
Yep.
You know, this was New York in 1972, 71, when people were out on the streets. It was, you know, the summertime. I don't know what time of the year it was. I don't remember what clothing. My stepfather shot this motherfucker at 3:30 in the fucking morning. There was 80 people at this party.
And then you said you guys, like, he just took your hand and you walked to the river and threw it in there or something?
We walked to the fucking car, not ran. Like, I was blown the fuck away. He had a 45. You ever hear a 45 go off?
No, but those are big ones,
Sounds
right?
like a fucking cannon going off. Boom! Boom! It sounds like I was fucking in awe. By this time in my life, I was 8 or 9. I had seen him knock out a fucking guy already, so I knew what time it was fucking on. I never knew it was gun time. I never knew it was
gun time.
I never knew it was boom, boom, boom time. You know, I gotta tell you, I don't give a fuck who the fuck you are. When you see your dad shoot somebody, that's a great fucking feeling. That's a great feeling. That's my fucking dad just shooting a motherfucker. I mean, it could go both ways. Your dad could get shot.
Yeah.
But I never forgot all those situations as a kid. And I had 1,000 of them. I have 1,000 situations where I saw shit go down on the street and nothing ever came of it.
Yeah.
Nothing. There was no witnesses. There was nothing. There was nothing. And I've always said the best, if you're going to do something, do it where there's a lot of people. Do it because you'll be very surprised what people see and what people don't see in there.
Because there's more reasonable doubt, I guess, if 80 people have a little bit of a different story.
It's like if you look at hits. The other day I was watching Steakhouses 2.
Okay.
It's on Food Network, and they show about.
Oh, I was gonna say it sounds like a fat guy's paradise. Like what movie is this?
Yeah. They show you where all the best steaks are, and they go to Peter Luger's. They go to this place. They go to that place. But at the end, they went to Sparks.
Okay.
And they spoke about when the mafia guy got hit there, Paul Castellano.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they shot that guy at 6:00 at night. You know what I'm saying? A week before fucking Christmas. When everybody's out, December 12th to December 15th, it was December something.
Yeah.
All right? This guy got shot at fucking midnight. Nobody saw nothing. Years later, yeah, they pieced together. It didn't take a genius to know it was Gotti, but you think about how, when you go to Sparks, when you walk past Sparks, like if you're ever walking on 3rd Avenue and you're in a rush or whatever the fuck it is, and you look up and because that's how I discovered it. I was doing a spot at the New York Comedy Club in 1994 at Al Martin's place. And I used to go for a walk before I'd go on stage. And I'm going for a stage, and I saw Sparks. And I crossed the street, and I stood there, and I go, so you mean to tell me this motherfucker showed up with guns and shot a motherfucker right here in the street, not right now where there's only 200 people. He shot him at 5:00 when there was 20,000 fucking people.
Yeah.
And he got away with it. They couldn't have him in descriptions. That's the brilliance of it. They never expected it. You never fucking expect it.
That's crazy.
That's the brilliance of it. That, 5:00, we're safe. This is America. This is the United States. Nothing's going to happen. And these 8 guys dressed up as Russian guys with hats, and they shot the head of the fucking Gambinos in the middle of the fucking street.
Wow.
You could do this every fucking day. People just don't do it. And I'm not saying you can shoot people, but I'm talking about it's if you're going to do something, do it the smartest faction. I don't even know how we got in this fucking conversation.
When you're saying the story about your dad, or about your stepdad, I've never really punched. Like, I've been in, like, kind of, like, little fights, like, pushing people or whatever, but I've never, like, I've gotten mad at people before and, like, wanted to punch them in the face, and I've never done it. What does that feel like? I just have to imagine it feels awesome. Like, it
feels
just
horrible.
Does it really?
Feels horrible.
I just want to, I feel like...
Listen, if you're getting paid for fighting,
yeah,
that's one fucking thing. If you're getting paid to fight somebody, that's one thing. To get into a fight in a fucking street with strangers, that's a horrible fucking feeling. I'm
not even like saying like bullies or whatever at school. Like I just wanted to like.
Oh yeah, listen, man. When I was a kid, I got beat up. I got beat up even though I was going to karate and shit. And then you start getting a little older, and you start. I remember going to karate for 2 or 3 years, getting into a fist fight, not using karate. What the fuck? What the fuck? When I was at 205 West 88th Street, it was weird. I was a little on the tough side, and I got my mouth busted one time, and my mother had to knock on the people's door, and then my mother made me refight the kid. You know, my mother was a fucking savage at those things because she knew how important it was that I got my shit together at that age. 5, I was a single my mom was a single mom at that time. So she knew the importance of me getting my shit off at that age. So when I got into a couple fights there that when they put me in Catholic school. At that time, I was already in karate. When I went to Sacred Heart School for boys, I think I got beat up one time, and I think I beat one guy up one time, like I kicked him or something like that. And then I got to North Bergen, and that was a completely different fucking story. I got beat up by John Bender one time. You know, and when I say beat up, you know, he got the best of me in a fight. I think I threw 2 punches at him and got like his eye or something like that. Don't get me wrong. It's not like I got on the floor and cried. You stick up for yourself. You're going to lose the fights. I always felt uncomfortable. It was out of my fucking normal comfort zone.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what could happen. As I got older, like I didn't mind fighting when you're 12 or 14. That's going to happen when you play football. It's that shit that happens after you're 18.
Yeah.
When you're driving and I'm fucking driving.
Oh, has that happened to you?
Oh my God. Oh my God.
You've had like road rage shit?
I've had situations where people have gone at me and you're thinking to yourself, you don't know what this guy's got in a car.
Yeah.
So now you got to throw him the fuck off. Like one time in Aspen, I was coming back with like a pound of blow. I'll never forget this moment. We had a little Mazda 2-seater car.
Yeah.
And the girl who I ended up marrying and we were driving and somebody said something to me. And I opened up the fucking glove compartment and there was touch-up paint, like a can of paint.
Yeah.
And I whipped it at their fucking glass.
Ooh.
And this motherfucker nearly killed, you know, and you got to think about all that dumb shit. Another time I got into a fight when my wife was pregnant. When she was not Terry, but the first one was pregnant.
Yeah.
The day the fucking cops were coming over. I get into a fucking fight with a guy that's crazy upstairs from me. He was beating me up at first. He had me because he punched me and I slipped on the snow. But then I got my bearings around me and I flipped him over and I started punching him. That's when the cops got there and I'm on probation for the kidnapping.
Like she had just gone into labor, right? Is that what you said?
That's the story.
Oh,
yeah,
Jesus.
Yeah, that's it. That's the one. So you sit there and I've got, believe it's so fucking overrated, man. It's a scary feeling that I would never, ever want to go through again.
Well, that's good to know. Like, I don't know. I was thinking about when you were saying that. I was like, Jesus, I've never really... And people listening, I don't want to, like, get in a fight with you. Like, don't mess around. But, like if I had people... Like, when I was younger and I would get bullied or whatever, like, I'd always, like, I just want to, like, imagine punching them in the face.
We all do. That's part of being a fucking man. That's testosterone.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. But it's a lot easier to let your hands go up. It's fucking terrible. It's fucking terrible. It's terrible to get hit in the face. That shit's fucking terrible, man. It's I didn't like it. You know, and I've gotten my nose busted. Like, I was thinking about when I was a kid, we used to go to Mario Diaz's house, this Cuban-Chinese kid.
Yeah.
Who lived up the block from the Keltos, across the street from Marlo, this black, she was the only black chick in the neighborhood. She was like a fat little black unga-bunga chick. I loved her. Marlo was cool as shit. Her mother was black, her father was white, or something like that. The grandmother was white. Somebody was white and they lived in this apartment building. They were fucking cool as shit. But we go to Mario Diaz's house at night. And there'd be different kids. One kid knew Aikido. This is when I was 14, people. One kid knew Aikido. The other kid knew Goju Karate. The other kid knew Fujiao Pai Kung Fu. And we just go at it for fucking hours. I remember going into that basement. There was holes in all the walls from us fucking ourselves up and then just like shaking hands. Like we'd pat ourselves up and just beat the fuck out of each other, Lee. And then go home. Like we'd go home when the parents would come down and go, "What are you kids doing down here?"
Yeah.
Nothing. What happened to the wall? Nothing, Ma. There was a hole there. It was hysterical.
Yeah.
He had punching bags. He had kabuto tonfas. Those things the cop use when they come out, they have those sticks with the fucking thing they hold.
Jesus Christ.
We would hit with those things. We were crazy little motherfuckers. We used to chip in money and on Saturdays go over to the city to this place called Honda Martial Arts Center, and we'd buy fucking iron palm techniques and the juice you put on your hands. We were fucking crazy. We used to buy the fucking stars, and in those days you had to sharpen them. You
sharpened the throwing stars?
Yeah, because they sell you the throwing stars, but they're never sharpened.
Well, yeah, because they don't want people to get stabbed.
But then we started sharpening them, and I don't know what fucking happened to the flying stars.
I love when that
After you cut yourself with a flying star, your flying star days are over with. You know, it's like nunchucks. You hit yourself in the fucking head pretty hard.
Yeah.
You're done with nunchucks for a couple of weeks.
I love when you're a kid and you're fighting. Like, I had a brother and we would fight, but as soon as the mom or the dad like, "What's going on?" Like you act like you're like kind of acting tough or whatever you're fighting, but as soon as one of the parents is like, "Quiet down," like, it's funny when you're a kid.
I started. No, but I don't. It's always good. Like, you've gotten punched in the face, I suppose.
I don't think so.
No bully ever karate chopped you in the neck?
I think I've gotten in fights, and I got suspended one day in high school because this bigger kid was messing with me, and I'm short, but I'm sturdy, so we were in the locker room, and I shoved him, I like pushed him a bunch of times into some lockers. I never really punched him, but no, I got bullied, but I don't think I ever got in like a real like fight, like getting punched in the face sort of thing.
You know, once it's easy to hit people, then you get to that age where you get hit, and you don't like hitting people no more because you know how fucking bad it feels. You're like, fuck, I don't ever want to forget hitting the nose or getting, like, my nose got busted. And then, you know, I tell that story online about us going into Boulevard East, you know, and we were mugging what we thought were gay men, but they weren't really gay men. If you really think about it, they were just perverts. It was Sandusky's that would come over and ask us, you know, because these guys had nice cars and all this shit at the time. And that's a part of my life that, you know, I did it for 6 or 7 months, and I felt like a barbarian. Like when Joe Rogan and those people talk about Genghis Khan, that's what I felt like when I was going down to the road, these people. Like, it wasn't a fucking great time in my life. I have 2 ways to describe that point in my life. I could sit there and not talk about it, or I could sit there and laugh at it. I could sit here and honestly tell you, Lee, that I never broke somebody's arm or something. You punch them in the stomach and you ask them for your fucking wallet. That's going to happen in the fucking city, or somebody's going to put a gun to your head or something like that.
Yeah.
I never abused nobody. I never bullied nobody. That was never my intention. I was a dumb fucking kid. And for a time, you thought that was cool, you know, mugging people or whatever. You know, I got arrested for aggravated robbery. You think of those 2 fucking words.
Yeah, was that the one in Colorado or?
Oh, yeah, that was the one in Colorado, but I had done it before and after. It wasn't the first time, you know. And you think about aggravated robbery. What ugly 2 fucking words those are. Those are the 2 ugliest fucking words I say. Fuck is nothing. The muffle is nothing, you know. Aggravated fucking robbery. That's trying to rob somebody with a fucking pistol. If I wouldn't have got caught that time, what would have been next? Maybe somebody that day I would have gone, they would have had a fucking pistol.
Oof.
You never know. That's why fighting is so scary, because you never know what the other guy's got.
Mm-hmm. And do you worry about that? I know it's a few years.
Every fucking day.
I know it's a few...
Every day, because I've seen it happen.
Well, not even that. I was thinking it's a few years away from Mercy, but I don't know how girls act. Like, how do you think you're gonna approach it? Because I mean, one day Mercy's gonna get bullied. Like, as a father, I think you want to go down there and like, and fuck him up or something. Like, I don't know what you do.
Listen, man. Every child at one point, I don't know if they get bullied. I mean, I got bullied. You know, I was Cuban.
Yeah.
I was Spanish. My mother used to put white fucking slippery shoes on me. Okay? Plus jewelry. And I think my mom used to put the jewelry on me to test me. Like, to make sure. My mother was very stern with me. Like, don't let nobody touch that. Like, don't let nobody touch that.
Yeah.
Don't let nobody touch your face. Don't let nobody touch that bracelet. Don't let nobody touch your body. Don't let nobody touch you. My mother was very stern. I sit here sometimes, and this is the creepiest fucking thing I'm ever going to say on the podcast. I think about how lucky I am that I was never molested. Like, I will beat myself up thinking about my past to see if I got molested. Because they say most children get molested and we sweep it under a carpet. Mm-hmm. And I always, you know, in the situations I lived in, why didn't I get molested?
What do you mean, why?
Was I that ugly as a fucking kid?
Jesus Christ.
You know what I'm saying?
What about me? Yeah.
Was I that fucking ugly as a kid? You know, I went to Catholic school. You know, I don't think I was an altar boy or whatever. I think I was an alternate altar boy over at that Sacred Heart School for Boys. Like, I just went back there a few times. And I'm not saying nothing bad about the Catholics, you know. My mother raised me single mom, or I had different babysitters. I remember all of them, you know, like the women, and they never bothered me or nothing. You know, when my mother died, why didn't people take advantage of me? It would have been the perfect fucking time. Mm-hmm. When I was 16 and vulnerable, 15 and vulnerable. Again, was I that fucking ugly as a kid? You know, but you have to think about that. And I go back to, you know, people always say to me, Joey, when are you writing your book? Joey, when are you writing your book? It's so hard for me to write a book because I'll get stuck on a subject that'll beat me so much. Like right now I'm stuck on Juan, you know, like writing about Juan.
Yeah.
But the subject that has always baffled me is how lucky I was. How really lucky I was. I could look you in the eye and tell you about a time where a guy did try to fuck me. You know, I was 15, I was 13, and I was playing basketball at St. Michael's. I told you on the podcast, and it was snowing out. And in those days on Kennedy Boulevard, the buses came like 10 times an hour. When it snowed, they only had one bus out there.
Yeah.
You know, so you had to wait an hour and a half, 2 hours, and this car pulled up, and against everything my mother had raised me, I got in the car with this fucking guy.
Jesus.
And, you know, he started hitting the ball. I had my hands in my jacket, and I had the ball between my legs, and he kept hitting the ball. Ooh, you're a big guy, aren't you? Wow, look at that ball. You know, and something happened by Sears and Roebuck, across from Schützen Park and Kennedy Boulevard, the fucking door opened. That was God, dog. The door just fucking opened.
Oh, really?
And I ran out, and he made a U-turn, tried to get me, but I knew Schützen Park. I ran in there and cut through the fucking weeds and the snow. So I was very fortunate. But you think of all the things that could have happened.
Yeah.
You know, when my mother died, I could have moved in with somebody who would wake me up in the middle of the night, want me to suck his dick. You know, whatever. There's so many situations that could have happened. When I was a kid, I remember, you know, when I was a kid, I had like maybe 3 babysitters, and they were all female. But I would always hang out with my godfather, my real godfather, the guy who baptized me. He used to take me to the movies all the time.
And give you the gun, right?
And gave me the fucking gun, and he smoked dope in front of me, and he was a ladies guy, and he had hippie chicks. He was a Cuban guy. He looked like Dick Van Dyke. So he could have been a fucking pervert. You know, he could have been a fucking pervert, made me whack off in front of him, whatever the fuck they do. You know, who knows what they make you do? I was just very fortunate. I'm not making fun of people who have been molested, but I think part of that is because of the training my mother gave me.
Yeah.
When my father died, she became my world, and she would beat it into me. I used to have a fucking bracelet, guy, in New York. A fucking bracelet.
Like a gold bracelet?
Gold bracelet with my name on it, Coco, when I was in the first fucking grade. Then I didn't like the name Coco, so I made him make me a diamond ring that said Tony on it.
Jesus.
Because my middle name is Antonio. So I made her get me a diamond ring that said Tony on it. And I think my mother gave me those things to prove my fucking shit. I remember I had a chain. Well, I always had a chain with this Cuban thing on it, this Hermano de Jose. It's a little black guy playing the bongo drums. His name is Pepe. If your name is Jose, you have to wear that shit.
I just have this image of that kid in, like with the cover from the documentary, just with all those chains on.
Oh yeah, it was fucking crazy.
Like slick back hair. And
oh
stuff.
Yeah, my mother had me in 2 suits, the whole fucking thing, guys. My mother would put white shoes on me. I still remember her telling me once, "Don't run in those shoes." When I ran, and I couldn't stop, and I fucking crashed, and both my knees got scraped up, and they had to put mercurochrome and fucking blow on them and shit. Jesus. Because in the old days, there wasn't no spray. They just put that bottle of mercurochrome on your fucking knee. Your skin would be hanging off your knee and shit. I'm sure I got fucking bullied, but I went right away. She put me in Goju Karate.
Yep. I did Taekwondo from like first grade or something.
Oh, fucking right away. And I remember Lee, and I quit everything in those days. I used to quit. They kicked me in the stomach so fucking hard that I lost the oxygen. What is that when they kick the air out of me?
Yeah, knock the air out of you.
This motherfucker knocked the air out of me so hard that it was over.
That's the worst feeling.
And I remember going back, and the guy saying to me, "I'm happy you came back. You're going to be fine, blah, 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 blah," you know, and I used to quit everything. I can't believe I didn't fucking quit karate at that age. But after that age, at least I felt confident. I was never a bully. But when we used to go on the weekends to 148th Street, where I seen Juan shoot the dude that day, that's where I was bullied. I wasn't bullied like the bully they talk about today in the movies.
Like
and
teasing
stuff.
you. It's not teasing.
No. In those days, people would take your shit, Lee. So let's say you would have like a G.I. Joe, and you brought it out to play.
Yeah.
In the day, those kids on 148th Street would take your fucking G.I. Joe.
Jesus.
And just tell them it was yours, and you'll come get it tomorrow. But the place, they had like 2 brothers. Like, let's say it was Lee and his brother Stan, or his brother Les. and they would take your shit, Lee.
Yeah.
So it was a different type of your man. Like, I remember one time we went to get ice cream, and the ice cream man goes, "Let me see your chain." And he pulled it out, and my mother fucking hit his hand. And she took me aside. She goes, "Nobody touches that fucking chain.
Yeah.
Nobody puts their hand on your chain. Nobody puts their hand anywhere on you." And my mother was so adamant about it that I think I fucking...
It ingrained itself
in me. Like, you know, when I went at that nun, the whole thing was about me covering my face. My mom used to say, "Fucking don't let nobody touch your face, period." But Mommy, no, I'm the only one that can touch your face, and even then, don't let me touch your fucking face. How's that one for you? No, you're a man. I was fucking 6. She'd be calling me a fucking man. You're a man. That's why you're going to do this. That's why you're going to eat pussy when you're a fucking man. I would sit there, no, I can't fucking eat pussy. I'm a little girl. But
Jesus.
it's so fucked up how nobody did those things because the beating she threw on me early on. Listen, I love my daughter. You want the best for your children, but you also don't want it easy for them. One thing I don't want for my daughter is for it to be easy for her. And I'll tell you why, because my mother never made it easy for me.
Yeah.
She made it easy enough for me. Like, I think about the shit I stuck with, like this jiu-jitsu shit, how I'll stick with it because I've already done comedy. I know a journey. A journey could be very hard. It could be very easy. It passes very quickly.
Yeah, it does.
Like, 1 minute you're playing the violin with 3 fucking people, and next thing you know, you're in Madison Square fucking Garden opening up for Guns and fucking Roses, and you don't know how you get there. You know why you get there? Because you stuck with it. That's it. You stuck with it. On Saturday afternoons when everybody was fucking around, you said, you know what? I'm going to learn this fucking thing. And you learned it, and you stuck with it. And you just keep doing it, and you keep going back to the well. And eventually, even if you fall behind in skill talent of time, like a lot of times when I first got here, I'd ask people, how long have you been doing comedy? And they'd say 10 years, and you've been doing comedy 7 years, and you're like, wow, that's how good I'm going to be at 10 years. Sometimes you get stuck at a certain fucking thing. But if you keep going, you get past that hump. When you play baseball, people go into slumps.
Yeah.
That's why they spend a lot of money on the Yankees, because it's money ball. To them, it's a different type of money ball. They figure there's a pitcher. He don't count. He's irrelevant. But there's 8 people on the team. If 4 of them are in a slump, we still got 4 that are batting.
Yeah.
That's the Yankees' philosophy. That's why they always get strong bats. Because even if 5 are down, 3 of them, we're just hoping that 5 of them are good August and September.
Yeah.
That's our money. We're hoping that in August and September we got 5 fucking hitters that are pretty goddamn fucking good. So.
Yeah. No, it's crazy, and it's hard. But I was thinking about that. I was like, I wonder what you're gonna do, because my dad got beat up as a kid, and my grandfather was a dry cleaner. But he went to the horse races, and he knew some guys. So when my dad got beat up, my grandfather went with some of his like mafia buddies to the school with a baseball bat, picked the kid up and put him against the tree, and was whacking the tree with a baseball bat. And it's just it's like I like that's what I like. I didn't know if you would do that, or it's weird stuff that happens, but it's
30 years ago I would have done that. That's
Yeah.
not the way to raise your child. You talk to your child and you instill confidence in them. And you never teach your child to hit somebody. But they have to protect themselves.
Yeah.
They have to protect themselves. And to protect themselves, they got to know what to protect themselves about. So you got to raise your hand to them, not you personally, but somebody, a karate teacher, another child. No kid likes to get hit. But I want, this is, and people looked at me weird when I said this one day at a party, that my mother raised me like she knew she was going to die.
I was going to say that, because you have 2 stories. You have the story of when she brought you back to the basketball court, and right before she passed away, where she got mad at you for not calling. And those, like, it seems like you live your life by those 2 stories.
But it's really weird. She also taught me at an early age how to vacuum. She taught me how to do my own laundry. She would force me to do my own laundry. She would just made sure I did so many little things. Like, let's face it. Like, I'm up to this chapter now. My mother died, and me and my stepdad aren't getting along. And let's face it, I could tell any story that I want to. I could tell you whatever lie I want to. From the age of fucking 11 on, I was really pretty much on my own. By the time I was 15 and I was walking home from the cemetery, I figured out that I had been on my own already for 4 fucking years. They were paying the bills at the house. I was doing everything else. I was getting my own food. I was preparing it. You know what I'm saying? She would say right down. She would leave me shit to go to ShopRite and get. I would see my mother. Because there was a period where I would go to the bar and go into Union City and go to karate and stuff like that. But once I became 12, I didn't want to go over that hill no more.
Yeah.
I wanted to hang out in North Bergen and play Pee Wee football and Pee Wee basketball, Biddy basketball and all that shit. I was a North Bergen kid. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't want to rebel out of there, so I stayed down there. So I wouldn't go to the bar. I wouldn't go to the bar for 3 days in a row. So I would basically just see her at night.
Yeah.
So basically, she didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I would just tell her, leave me a steak with garlic on it and onions, or leave me cash under the dish. And I would go to this diner down the corner off of Tunley Avenue. And I asked people if they remember that diner, and nobody remembers it. Just me, Dominic Special, and fucking like Carlos Perez. And that's the first diner we went to when we first got high. I'll never forget that. And it was a trailer. It was a diner that was basically a trailer park.
Yeah.
And it was settled. And they had the booths, and they had the little things where you put the quarters in. And you picked the song, and it played music for your table, and we would go and listen to Margaritaville, right? And we would play Margaritaville, and we'd get fucking stoned and go in there. We would smoke like maybe one joint
For the three of you.
between 5 of us. And we giggle our goddamn asses off. We go to the table and sit there and we look at the menus and we'd pray that the fucking waitress wouldn't come by. And when she'd come by, we'd giggle in her fucking face. Just laugh at her, Lee. Just laugh, laugh, laugh. No, Lee, I don't want my daughter to get bullied. I will teach her to defend herself. Mm-hmm. And hopefully by that time, Eddie's got a boy.
Yeah.
My other buddy's Damon has a boy, Damon's about to have a girl, so a lot of the people in my circle have kids. So hopefully these kids grow up together and she could say, that's my cousin that goes to whatever high and da-da-da-da. And, that's how you want the best. That's my biggest nightmare. You can't control your kid's life. I don't know how these parents that have 3 kids that I talk to, you ask them, like, how are the kids? Great. One's in Biddy. The other one's about to go here. I would be fucking frantic all day.
Yeah.
Like, I'm very happy that I have the situation I have that I work weekends.
Mm-hmm.
Because I could spend the bulk of the week with her. And I could at least see her for 3 or 4 fucking days. I could control those 4 fucking days. I could drive her to daycare, take her to magic class, take her to play the fucking drums, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You want to be involved. Like my friend Steve Avillo says, you can either be involved and do the work now, or you're going to do the fucking work later and it's going to be bad. Mm-hmm. So do the work now. Build that bond with your child and talk to them. And I'm talking about everybody because we all know how we lived and how our lives could have been better. You sit there, after fucking 25, you sit there and you think about your fucking upbringing and you think about the things that could have been better. Think about what could have been better. If one of your parents would have been home. If one of your parents would have paid more attention with you. One of your parents could have drove you around. Not all of us were born with our mothers drinking a fucking martini in the living room when we got home and a butler. 90% of us that listen to this shit and we all talk and communicate on Twitter and Facebook, we didn't grow up with a fucking butler and stuff like that. So obviously you grew up with both your parents working or one of them working and you have a brother and a sister. So think about what would have made you, how your life would have been great if your dad was fucking home all day. Mm-hmm. Tell me no. And anybody feel that way? Fucking tweet me, email me. We would have been a lot happier if Dad's there all fucking day. As soon as you get home, he's there. He picks you up, drives you. After a while, it gets creepy. Don't get me fucking wrong. I don't want to be that creepy fucking dad either, that I'm sitting there, But you got to be involved. Mm-hmm. Do you trust people around you? I don't trust anybody. I trust me. I trust you. I don't trust a lot of fucking people. Who's out there felt like stabbing a kid that day or whatever the fuck it is. You got to be careful. Gotta teach your kids a lot of shit, man. It's rough.
Yeah.
I can't. I'm an idiot. I leave that stuff up to I'm a fucking moron. You know that shit.
That's crazy. Yeah. I don't want to get into a big thing before the call, but I don't know what to do. I've been doing some online dating, and I started talking to this girl. Actually messaged me, but she's 19, and her dad already said she doesn't want her dating anyone over 21. So, and I don't know what to do. Like, I just
meet the girl for fucking coffee, all right, and then take it from there. You're 24 years old.
Yeah,
you're really
I don't know,
like
man.
16 going on fucking 8. There you go. Good morning, my friend.
What's going on, Joey?
How are you, sir?
I'm pretty good.
How you doing these days?
Been real good.
You in San Jose training?
Yep. I got a week and a half of hard training and then head to Vegas.
And how long are you in Vegas for?
A week.
Now, the fights are when? When are you fighting? What date? June
14th, it's Friday night.
Damn, I'm in Utah that night, Jon Fitch. I thought you were fighting in Miami for some reason.
No. But it's going to be on NBC Sports Network, so you might be able to catch it.
On the phone is one of my... John, I'm still fucking a daze. I'm so happy you called. You've always known I've been one of your biggest fans since day one. I love you to death. You're a fucking savage. And I'll tell you the reason why I really love you, Jon Fitch. You know why? You're from Indiana. Nobody knows. Oh, when I was a kid, when I was 12, I was ready to move to French Lick, Indiana. You understand? Because I wanted to be the next Larry Bird. I'm not fucking around with you. I love all that, all that Jerry West type West Virginia mentality, Indiana mentality. And I loved you. I would watch you. And then I was talking to Rogan about it. He said you were the captain at Purdue, and I'd watch you fight. And it was just, you fought like the kids in my neighbor, like those dirty Irish kids. You're just not going home. You're just not going home until you get yours. So it's a pleasure to have you on the Church of What's Happening Now, brother. What's going on? What else is happening?
Nothing, man. Just training and being a dad and working around the house.
And how old is your child?
He's 15 months now.
Wow, yeah, I have a 4-month-old at the house, and we were just talking about, she's a girl, but we're talking about bullying and how you would work with your child and not getting bullied, and, you know, what our parents did.
Yeah.
And I know you've given it some thought. I mean, I would hate to have Jon Fitch as my fucking dad.
I don't know. I'm a pretty good dad. I spent last weekend building him a big, giant sandbox, and I wish I would have had a sandbox as nice as this one when I was a kid. So I think I'm a pretty good dad.
I didn't even have a sandbox. When I came from Cuba, we had a big community sandbox at the public school in New York City. There was beer bottles in there and syringes.
Beer bottles and broken glass.
And condoms and shit. You're going home with a condom in your pocket and stuff, like a used one. Ma, look what I found. And
you dig down too far deep, you find a dead hooker.
Oh, yeah. No, please. They're all over the place in the 70s in New York. So you're still at AKA?
Still at AKA, yeah.
Now, you're up in San Jose, correct? At that AKA?
Yep, San Jose.
It's pretty funny because I'm up there June 27th or something like that. And I looked at...
I have to catch you then because I think I'll be here.
No. Where are you going to be?
No, I think I'll be in town around end of June.
Yeah, because I want to go to that. You guys on Thursday mornings. They're making me come in Wednesday night to do press on Thursday, and I guarantee they won't have anything for me, but a few calls. But you have a 10 o'clock, a 10:30 BJJ fundamentals class, and I was going to try to hit it. I was going to bring the gi and everything, and see if Jon Fitch is up there to throw me around a little bit and teach me all about this stuff. How long have you been doing all this, Jon? Because I read a little bit about it. I remember when you first walked into the octagon, just looking at you. When did you start thinking about this stuff?
We watched the first early UFCs back in '93. We watched a few of those, and we watched a few K1 things in Pancrase, and then kind of disappeared from the pay-per-view. So kind of stopped paying attention to it because we were back in Indiana. We weren't all that tech savvy on the computers at that time. I never really even used a computer till I was a freshman in college. And so I kind of got away from it, didn't think about it. Always joked around, though, that, if things never worked out, I'd just move to Asia and fight like Rambo did in Rambo 3 with the sticks or something. And then when I got to Purdue, my assistant coach, Tom Erickson, was fighting in Japan. So, I watched some of his tapes and then kind of followed it, passively. And it wasn't until my, I think, senior year maybe, that, it was my senior year that, no, actually it was, the summer leading up to the senior year. I think Tom had, Mark Holman and Gary Goodrich come into town and train with him and stuff. So I got to, roll with these guys a little bit, just, for fun. And helping Gary out with his wrestling and stuff like that. And I did okay with him. I thought, if I can take down this guy who's a world-class fighter, and he's making, he's making some $75,000 a fight. It's like, damn, maybe I can do this. It might be worth it to take some classes or do something and try to figure things out. So, I kind of interested in that route because I didn't even start really getting decent at wrestling until probably my junior year of college.
Did you wrestle all your life?
I started in the 4th grade. I had I owe a lot to one of my second cousins, Brett Brinker. He would come into class and it was 4th grade, and he would always tell these great stories about his older brother who was wrestling for the high school team, and to me it was kind of hearing pro wrestling stories. He was a good storyteller. So I thought, it was like WWF that I was watching at home on, TV. And then I finally talked my mom into letting me go and check out a practice, and she was a little bit horrified. She's like, "You really want to do this?" And I was like, "Yeah." And luckily I had another relative who was, a volunteer assistant with the junior high team. And he kind of talked her into it about, just telling her about how awesome wrestling was and how it would make me a better person if I did get involved with wrestling, and kind of convinced her to let me try it. And you know, it was probably the best thing ever happened to me, I would say.
That's amazing. And then, now you weren't doing jiu-jitsu at Purdue at all.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it was kind of funny because I had a year of grad school at Purdue, paid for through a scholarship I earned there. And I used that time to fight that year and train and figure out what I wanted to do with my life. And I would train for fights, and there was nobody in town that I could really train with. So my buddy was a bouncer, and he would just try to get all these bouncers who wanted to fight, or who thought they could grapple or thought they could fight, to come in and try to train with me or roll with me or whatever. And then we'd get guys from the judo club also to try to train with. But I remember one day in particular, I was trying to train for a fight, and I needed, 3 5-minute rounds from people. So we lined the guys up. I had 8 guys there that day, and I would grapple with them. And in the first round, like, after I submitted them, a fresh guy would come in. And this was, I didn't have any jiu-jitsu back then, but I was still submitting these guys. And, I think 3.5 minutes into the first round, I'd gone through all 8 guys, and they were all done. They couldn't go anymore. They're like, sorry, we can't do it. They're about throwing up already. And so I was like, man, this is just not working out as far as training for fights. And that kind of got me thinking about going somewhere else. And that's one of the first steps that led me out to California.
Wow. And you started with Dave from day one?
No, actually, I got to San Jose May 20th, 2003, and Dave didn't get to AKA till November. So I didn't even put a gi on until November. I was training just with the fight team, and then I went to a few of Bobby Southworth's classes because Bobby Southworth was teaching at that time.
And you really like doing this, Jon Fitch?
Love it, man. It's changed my way of thinking, changed the way I live my life. It definitely made me a better person.
We were just talking about fighting. Lee Sayat, the co-host, was talking about that. He'd never really been hit, and how did it feel? And I was telling him when I was a kid, I liked it. I sparred and all that stuff. It's after you get 18 that, when you're driving, that's when it becomes a different world. I didn't like it at all because you don't know. It's not controlled, Yeah. And I think about what you guys do, and I got to tell you how much I've learned as a comic from watching MMA. Because when I see a fighter that doesn't evolve, I think of myself. How much you have to evolve, And it's so weird how you see fighters now, and look at 2 weeks ago with what's his name when he fought Luke. He came around with that spinning heel kick. You got to keep learning every day, and you got to keep working on the stuff that you're really not good at. I was never disciplined as much as sitting down and writing, John, which to me is like learning to fight on your back. That's what I compare it to in jiu-jitsu. To sitting down saying to yourself, you know what, from 11 to 12, I'm going to sit there every day, and I'm going to come up with ideas. And I tell you, John, after 3 weeks, nothing happens. But there's that one day that when you have 5 minutes left on the clock, from sitting there 3 weeks, all of a sudden you write the best stuff you've ever written because you stuck it out, And that's what I was avoiding. When I hear all the people, like when they fight wrestlers like yourself and they get taken down and they can't get out of that mess, it's because they're not prepared on their back. And that's how I always felt when I would bomb, that I wasn't working on it. So I've learned a lot from watching you guys do your thing,
Yeah, I kind of learned something. Louis C.K. made a statement. I think it was a documentary, something I watched, where he talked about, the process he went through to like writing his sets and stuff, and he said he would whatever, like a 20-minute set, he would have like a killer, last 5 minutes or whatever, and he would always move his killer finishing stuff to the beginning of every routine, every set, so that he had to come up with something else brand new to finish with. And I thought that was incredible, because that's a crazy amount of pressure that you have to put on yourself. That you have killer stuff to finish with, and you put it in the front on purpose to make you have to step up step up your writing for the second half of your set. It's pretty incredible to have the testicular fortitude to like do that on purpose. Most people are always going to just leave their best stuff towards the end of that. I think that goes into fighting too. I mean, you've got to force yourself into the murky places and the places that you're not comfortable with or you're not good at. That's one of the things I did when I started working with Dave Camarillo. Like, first time I grappled with him, he was 160 pounds, soaking wet, with nickels in his pockets. And when we grappled, he was on top of me, and it felt like he was 400 pounds. I couldn't move. And, I've had some hella good wrestlers that I've wrestled with in the past that couldn't keep me on my back and pinned like that, but he could. So at that moment, I was like, yeah, I'm going to put this gi on, and I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to do everything he tells me at face value, and I'll figure out how to adjust to wrestling and fighting later. And that's what I did. And you could see my level just jumped up. Guys who were submitting me daily were now I was crushing after a while.
Well, the other thing you did was that you're very intelligent, because you know that you got to hang your fucking ego up once in a while.
Exactly, and that's what's really difficult for a lot of guys.
A lot of guys won't do that shit.
They won't do it because, a lot of guys in this sport, they come from another sport where they were successful, like kickboxing, boxing, or even wrestling. And when they do that, and you have to start over in MMA, you're just starting at the bottom. So you have guys who are, elite level competitors in their normal surroundings, but then now in MMA, they have to start at the bottom again. So you got a guy who, you say an Olympic boxer, Olympic wrestler, throw him into a jiu-jitsu class where he's a white belt now. That's really hard because these guys, a lot of them, they've been at the top level for a decade maybe, and now they've got to start at the bottom rung again. That's really hit to a lot of people's egos. When you got an accountant with a blue belt is tapping you 3 or 4 times in a 5-minute round, you feel kind of shitty.
That's amazing. I couldn't even. I finally started going in and doing. I had to do something, John. I go to kickboxing all the time. I lost 100 pounds, and I want to I have sleep apnea, so it's hard for me to breathe on my back. So I said, fuck it. I started getting some nasal spray from the doctor, some Flonase. I pop 2 of those things, and I go and I roll. I've been trying to learn. And for me, I never wrestled. I played football and basketball in high school. So I told the guy from the minute I walked in, I go, I know nothing. I know dick. I know the crucifix, and I know a hip escape. That's it. Man, those hip escapes are tough. But every time I go, I try to do 1 more hip escape. That's my goal for every fucking class. I don't care if I get beat up. There's 20-year-old kids in there, Jon Fitch. I never seen nobody move like that. I've never seen people move like that.
Even I will grab some of these younger guys, and I'm like, Jesus, like they're flying all over the place. I like these blue belts, and they're jumping over me and shit. Like, calm down. I'm, oh man, I don't want you jumping and shit. It's too much for me.
You had one of the hardest things happen this year, with the UFC and whatnot, and I'm still your number 1 fan. I don't give a fuck where you go, but you know what? I thought about it when it went down, John. I got to tell you, it was the best thing that happened, because sometimes you got to take one of those. You're a fucking champion, no matter what, and you'll prevail at this. I'm really proud of you, and I'm really proud that you called in today. And I used to go to all your fights, man. You know that. You saw me. I'd look at you and giggle, and I would love it. I love it. I used to. It's amazing what I would see you when you'd walk in. I'd make believe I was in your mind, as creepy as this sounds. Because anybody who's gotten into a fight outside of a hamburger joint, we've all got into a push and shot. Fuck you, cocksucker. But to fight in front of 18,000 people. What is it like? I need to just ask you before I let you go.
It's pretty incredible to fight in front of that many people, especially since, you spend a lifetime wrestling in front of a gym full of moms, just a handful of moms, and maybe a couple overzealous dads too. But it's pretty sparse in the wrestling world. but there were times where we wrestled at like Iowa, and there was 10,000 people in the crowd. That was a pretty cool experience. But it feels great to have that many people watching you fight. It's kind of like payback from all the years of working out in empty gymnasiums and wrestling against people, and nobody's really watching.
I always think about that when I see the fighters walk in. I'm like, I've done comedy for 2,000 people, big fucking deal. These guys are about to hit somebody in the head in front of 18,000 fucking witnesses. That's as strong, and get away with it. That's as strong as it fucking gets. Exactly. And you get away with it. You choke the motherfucker.
We'll have the police coming on our door, knocking on our door later.
Hey, brother, you sound good, You sound really confident.
Yeah, I feel great. I mean, having my little boy around it makes me young again, really, because I think like a little kid again, and I don't know if I built the sandbox for him or for me.
Oh, John, I feel the same way. I'm 50. My wife came in the room a year ago and said I knocked her up. We've been together for 14 years. Last week I had a situation, John, where I was sitting on the couch and I was doing whatever you do with your fucking lips, whatever you do, and she thought it was the funniest thing she had ever seen in the world. She was peeing all over herself, giggling, and I started fucking giggling, right? Like, now I'm fucking giggling, and I got so emotional, John, because I hadn't laughed that much since I was fucking 8. Since Bugs Bunny fell off a cliff and landed on the cook or something. Then when you laughed at innocent shit, it wasn't the stupid shit you laugh at today, Community and this gay shit. Remember when you were a kid, you laughed from your belly when Popeye would spit slap fucking Pluto or something? That's how I felt. And I told my wife was like, you've been acting weird tonight. What's the matter? I said, I haven't laughed like that in 30 fucking years. That's what just happened. I haven't laughed like that at something simple. They really do take you somewhere where you have been before, but you don't remember.
Yep. That's the truth.
And when you remember, you're like, fuck, I want to do this again, but look at me, I'm a broken down old fuck. What am I going to do now? Jon Fitch.
Go get on some TRT.
So tell me about this fight, my friend.
Yeah, man, I'm fighting Josh Burton Friday, June 14th. I'm going to be at the Hard Rock Hotel in Las Vegas. It's going to be on NBC Sportsnet. Super excited about this. Super excited about being with this promotion. It's been nothing but a great experience so far. And my training camp's been amazing. I feel better than I have in a long time, and I feel motivated and I feel unchained. So I think fans are gonna get a real treat come June 14th.
Hey, John, what's the name of the promotion so we can look it up on our TVs and stuff?
World Series of Fighting.
Okay.
And it's on NBC.net, my brother?
Yep. You can follow them on at MMA World Series, I think, on Twitter.
Okay. And what happened was, John, I was in a hotel about a week ago, and I was reading your tweets, and you had said for contact information for inquiries to contact somebody, and I wrote the fucking thing down. I think it was your girlfriend. I wrote her Twitter handle down, and then I got home and I couldn't find it. I didn't want to ask you in public like that, so I apologize for that. But people went nuts. People were getting back to me. They said to ask you about the wolf meat.
Wolf meat? How do you know about wolf meat?
That you eat wolf meat?
I saw that, and I thought it was something you guys were talking about.
Oh, I thought that you ate wolf meat. I didn't know for sure.
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't know what that guy was talking. I saw that tweet, and I was like, wolf meat. And I was like, that could be an interesting story.
I think no, and I know what he meant. You're a little fucking wolf with the little beard and shit. You're like a little wolf when you open your mouth. You're a savage. I love you, Jon Fitch. You know that from the bottom of my heart. And I want you to call again after the fight and let me know what went down. All right, brother?
Cool, man. Thanks a lot.
So my heart's with you, and I'm cheering for you, and I'm still your number one fan. You know that, right?
Cool, man.
All right.
I'll come make it out and see you when you're out here in June.
I'm gonna definitely come by. I'm gonna rent a car and come by with the Flying Jew. We're gonna come by and break your balls a little bit. All right, brother. I'm with you, man. Stay black and beautiful always.
I will.
All right, buddy. Bye.
Later.
That's a bad motherfucker.
Yeah.
That's a dangerous man right there. Like I saw you yesterday on the phone. I didn't want to bring it up. I was there when he fought GSP, and I was there outside the ambulance. like fucking heartbroken, like crying, like if he was a friend. Like, it was the worst feeling in the world when you see a friend of yours fighting and you can't help him. And that's why I don't go to big fights. Like, I got to perform July 5th in Las Vegas for Anderson Silva with Joe Rogan and all those guys.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I'm not staying for the fight.
You're not gonna?
No, I'm going to come home. It's a long weekend. Number one, I want to be with my wife that weekend because I'm going to be gone for like 5 weeks.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, I can't watch Anderson Silva fight. I get too emotional. It breaks my heart. Last time I had to take a hit of acid with the fucking other Jew, with Ari Shafir. So I can't. I get too fucking emotional, man. Those are my friends. I can't help them. You know, you see your friend getting his ass kicked in the ring. You want to jump in there. You want to bitch slap a bitch.
How much money would it take for you to run in and like jump over the cage and jump in? I bet everyone who listens right now would give $100.
Bro, they'll throw me in fucking jail. They'll throw you in jail. You jump in the octagon.
Yeah.
That's like obstruction of fucking fighting. You know, you can't fucking just do that shit. What's up, Lisa Ayat, you bad motherfucker? What do we got planned? We got this thing tonight. We got onit.com. Listen, if you're starting your health program, I don't know what I'd do without Onit. I really don't know what I'd do without Onit because they got something for everything. And they've been great to me and they've been great to us as a company. But the thing, what they have, even the fucking president called Aubrey the other day, you know, warrior poet, who's a fucking genius as far as I'm concerned. If you sit down with the guy, he's a fucking genius. He makes Joe Rogan look like a fucking mental midget. It's amazing. You talk to Aubrey, it's amazing. And Joe knows everything about fucking everything. But Aubrey, I think, got him beat a little bit. So, you know what? I trust whatever the fuck he gives me. I really, when I'm telling you, you know, I was talking about earlier with the Mayo, whatever, that's in strong bone, repairs the tissues and all this, and I had this bunch of athletes that spoke about it. Like I said, I don't know much about chemicals. I could drop a bunch of wrong words on you. I know what works. I know what makes me feel better. I know that I went back on the fucking strong bone. I'll tell you what, I don't feel my knee. I got the braces, though. You know, I got the
knee brace,
pads. No, I got the pads.
Oh, the wrestling pads. Okay.
Yeah, so it wouldn't bother me that much. So now I don't have to land on them. But I'll tell you what, my knee feels fucking great. My shoulders feel fucking great. Do yourself a favor. If you're a fat fuck, you're thinking about lifting, you're thinking about, you know, getting started. After a couple of weeks, you're going to be sore. Get some strong bone. It's got the glutamate and all that shit in it. Get the strong bone. Get the new mood. In fact, I'm going to pop some new moods tonight and smoke some reefer.
Oh, geez.
Because the new moods with the edible enhances the edible.
Good to know. How bad do those knee pads smell after that class?
Not too bad.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, mine used to stink.
I don't smell them. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Jesus
You're a
Christ.
nasty motherfucker. You know, you smell your own knee
Smelling knee pads is gross, but fucking having pubic hair in your mouth like a fucking toothpick is normal.
That's a party where I come from.
That's a party.
Man. Some fucking bush in your mouth like floss, and you just move it around your mouth when you're driving.
When you're driving? You leave it in there when you're driving?
Fuck yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
You purposely rip some bush like off her pussy like Chuck Norris did to Bruce Lee in Return of the Dragon. You don't remember when fucking Bruce Lee grabbed the hair from Chuck Norris's chest and went... You didn't watch Silence of the Lambs last week either, cocksucker. You thought I forgot. You know why? Because you were in La Jolla jumping up and down with your little girlfriend, and then Friday night you were drinking beer, having a good time. What's on the agenda this week with your girlfriend? Where you taking her this week?
I'm not taking anyone anywhere.
Half a fucking fruitcake. Where you taking her this weekend, cocksucker?
Nowhere.
You sure it's over?
I mean, we're friends, but yeah.
Oh, here we go with the friend shit. Don't make
Jesus
this. You ain't
Christ.
friends with her no more.
Yes, I
That's
am.
it. Just tell us, don't call here no more. If you ain't gonna smoke my pipe, you got no reason to call here and shit, all right? You gotta put your foot down. You're not hanging out, because that's what happened. You're hanging out with her in the hopes. She's not gonna give you the monkey. Now you gotta play hardball now. You're not the regular Lisa. Yeah, you're the tough guy. You're a pimp. You gotta put your pimp hand down. Do you not have a Jew pimp hand?
I do.
The best fucking pimps I've ran with in my day were all fucking Jews. Gotta get it together, though. You gotta put your pimp hand down and say it's over. If you're not gonna smoke my little Jew fucking yarmulke stick, my Jew yarmulke stick, it's over.
I feel like I have to apologize to Rabbi Blumberg with my childhood.
I love the fucking rabbis. The rabbis are fucking what's crack-a-lacking. Listen, tonight only, we're at that place, the Ice House Stage 2, 8:30. I don't know how many tickets left. Number 2, I gotta talk to you people about something. I want to thank you for making Testicle Testaments #1 around the fucking globe. At one point yesterday, we were UK, Canada, and the USA. We couldn't have done it without you guys. I love you motherfuckers with all my heart for making me a real comic. You guys have really made you and this cocksucker Jew. We're only edibles. We're eating edibles tonight. We're going to open up with a quad Chibo chew tonight. We're taking you deep,
Who wants
deep,
to drive me home?
deep into the metaphysicals of the metaphysicals and shit tonight. It's over for you, Lisa.
It's over.
Gotta get it together. I want to give some shout outs to some people. I don't
Go
know.
for it.
Let's give a shout out to Sean Cappuccino, Juan De Dios, Ron Magana, Bo Lloyd, Jose Valencia, Leisure Suit Gavin, and Tim Curtis. I want to give a shout out to my man Constantino, whatever his fucking name is. I want to give a shout out to Leon. I want to give a shout out to fucking Gus, aka Gaspari, Brent fucking Ross. I want to give a shout out to my brothers at Death Squad, whether it's Harlem, Nashville, Cincinnati, Ogallala, Nebraska. We got you, motherfucking Death Squad. I want to give a shout out to the fucking church community, you bad motherfuckers. Don't quit. Don't ever fucking quit. Take your dick out and say, I'm here. I'm going to... Anyway, I got emotional there for a second because it's Wednesday. You know, that's
it's Wednesday. You got to do it.
Lisa, I got no dates on the book for May. I got a bunch of them in June. We'll talk about them in June.
Well, May's over, yeah.
Yeah, who gives a fuck? We got 3 more days, whatever. Don't forget, get your shit together. On it. Hulu Plus. Do what the fuck. Tell them about Hulu, dog. You're sitting there like a fucking bump on a log. You're slipping.
No, I'm not. Well, now that the show is over, don't forget to sign up for your free trial of Hulu Plus and start watching your favorite hit shows right now. Go to joeydiaz.net and click the Hulu Plus banner for your extended free trial, or go to huluplus.com/Joey. Again, click the Hulu Plus banner on joeydiaz.net or go to huluplus.com/Joey.
That's right. And go to the webpage and look at the dates. Get yourself a little fucking t-shirt. We got tank tops. I talked to JR.
Oh, shit.
We're going to make a Flying Jew commemorative t-shirt. I love JR. You know, he's in town this weekend. JR tries really hard. I love him to death. He's a good fucking dude. He had ideas. He's got a new designer. I said, we're going to work out a fucking Flying Jew t-shirt.
I love it.
We're going to put all this shit together for the Flying Jew because you're slinging dick. That's it. It's the time. It's time for the Flying Jew to put his yarmulke on and fly around and just pee on people. When was the last time you spring some... That's what you never peed on that chick.
I never peed on anybody.
You should have peed on her foot when she was sleeping. That would have got... Then you whack off in her soup and you would have got her from every direction. You know, like the Filipinos on Gower and Hollywood Boulevard, you put your feet in the water with rocks and they suck out the impurities?
Yeah.
Well, you should have peed on her feet. Your piss would have gone into her feet and you would have known. They would have got all horny and she want to smoke your little Jew dick. You know what I'm saying? You got to think this way. When you got nothing else going on, you got to hit him from the voodoo angle.
I feel like this is the reason why weed isn't legal. Because you have ideas like you got to piss on her feet so it seeps in and it makes it horny. I feel like whatever level...
You pee on her foot and then you coat it with alpha brain and like a chicken cutlet. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like whatever level of weed you're smoking, like that should be the max. Like a little bit less is okay, but whatever you're doing every day is too much.
Hey, listen, get it together. Don't make me fucking stab you in the neck. I love you guys. Have a great week. Hulu, I love you guys. And did you mention it's only $7.99 after 2 weeks, correct?
$7.99 a month.
$7.99 a month. My wife went on it and she fucking loved it. There was
great.
some show on it. I think your movie's on there, the Juice movie.
Yeah, Fat Sick and Nearly Dead's on
movie.
there. Pulp Fiction's on there. It's great.
You like Pulp Fiction?
I love it.
You sing
I have a
and dance.
poster. Yeah.
Do you really?
Yeah.
You fucking mook. I love you guys. Have a great weekend. Don't forget to listen to the podcast. Leo put it up on Friday, the live podcast. There was something I had to tell you, Lee, but I forgot. Do you know that?
That's fucked up.
What do you mean that's fucked up? I'm trying to... Ooh, just a little fart there for people.
She just shit himself on the podcast.
Ooh, it smells like flowers. All right, hit it, Lee, cocksucker. On it, I love you. Go to onit.com and put in the church. Get your fucking 20% off. Get on the mailing list. When they start sending out ropes, you can hang yourself at one. I love you, cocksuckers. Have a great weekend. JoeyDiaz.net. Hit it, Lee.